like so I've been watching a lot of Gaia. Are you familiar with it?
No.
Really?
Gaia, like G-A-I?
It's like a yoga company, I guess, but they have a channel
Oh,
of
I've
all
heard of that.
nonsense. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you want to
I
get
used to
good,
be way more into yoga culture.
well, the thing is, it's got a bunch of like UFO shit. Because I don't know if you want it, you can't find very good UFO stuff. A lot of it's just like tic tac, uh,
Right.
ancient aliens, which is like not. It's like ancient aliens. Every they don't even like pick out a story. They're just like imagine all the stories that ever happened, and it's an alien.
Yeah.
So if you want the good stuff, you gotta. I
Go to
I was
Gaia.
able I was able to hack into this information through by borrowing Monterey's password to Guy, my friend's password.
Wow.
So I was able to get all this valuable information from Gaia. But they have like real specific shit, and the story that goes around now is the secret space program where people get recruited, and then you do 20 years in space, and then you get age reverted back to the age when you left. So there's no record of you, and it's run
Wow.
by the Germans. There's an entire SCP lore about it.
Okay, wow. That's incredible.
Almost unbelievable, some would say.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's worth watching just for that because there's no like Netflix things about that.
So this is Gaia. You got to subscribe to this website.
I mean, I don't know if you want to. I don't know what streaming you want to subscribe to. Okay, my advice is you. Oh, this is. I'm sure you live in a city. Throw a rock and hit someone with a yoga life
Okay.
and ask for their password. Is what I did.
All right, that's what I'll do. I'll hit up my friends that are still in the yoga world, and I'll get their
Or
password.
the alien bullshit world, or crystals and
I definitely participate in crystals. Those I have a ton of.
all Gaia is the working man's goop.
Working man's goop.
People like to mock it. It's just the working man's goop. That's how I look at it.
And guys should have a goop. There should be
No,
something
it's
new
for
agey for
listen.
men.
It's for all genders because I watched like every UFO thing I could find. Because you know what I look for is like their racial conflicts. I want to. I don't care about their fucking ships.
Right? Do
I'm
you
the
think
opposite
aliens
of.
are racist?
Oh,
They must be.
you gotta look. You gotta see the guy talking about the tall whites. That's actually free. It's not even a guy. If you look up Charles Hall, Area 51 on YouTube,
You mean like the grays?
not the Greys, the tall, the tall whites. They're called. They could
Okay.
almost pass for a human if you're not looking at them too hard and you didn't like their eyes are kind of too. I imagine like Splice. If you have some movie Splice, their eyes are a little too far apart like that supposedly. But they're very tall and white, and it's hilarious because the guy's talking about how we're like gorillas compared to them, and they look at us like I'm like, I wait a minute, this sounds familiar. This like whiter creatures are like you guys are savages.
These do look like almost human like. And this is just the first thing that comes up. Tall white aliens. Who are they
Well,
and
those
what
are
do they
that's
look
not a
like?
photograph. That looks like fake albinos.
Okay.
See, okay, says Billy Myers description of tall whites. That's wrong. Billy Myers,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure that guy is fake. If you see his footage, it does not look believable. It looks like, but he's talking about the Nordic aliens, which is like space abo, and that's not the tall whites.
They're
Like
7 to
the
10
tall
feet
whites
tall,
are white
blonde
as paper.
eyes. They're strong. I'm down for that.
People confuse
That
them. I
sounds
didn't
like
know
my
there's a
people.
difference. Tall whites don't look like Nordic fucking Chris Hemsworths. Tall whites are
Okay. Damn.
like like just real willowy with very thin hair or sometimes white hair. The Charles Hall one, you got to watch that because it's like eerie what he talks about. He hasn't put any new agey shit in it, so you're like, uh, it's like I said, it's hard to find ones that are that interesting and not like a meme.
Okay. And he gives it to you
But I would say
straight. Sounds
Charles,
like.
the testimony of Charles Hall on YouTube, and there's a documentary on Tubi. I went in a whole hole of this guy on Tubi, the app. There's a documentary called "Walking with the Tall Whites," and
Wow.
uh, but I had never heard about them like that. But they're in stuff like it's just not like how Greys are, and they're
Yeah, it
also
says there he
confused with the
describes
ABBA
them as
ones.
benevolent Nordics, that
Mm-mm.
humans have an innate fear when they are in the
Wait,
presence of tall whites.
Charles Hall did not describe them as benevolent Nordics.
Okay,
You're
that is
saying that
what
wrong.
this dumb description is telling me.
He's okay. What he said, which is interesting, is because he said he was not First of all, he goes. He worked at Dreamland. It's called, which is like I think actually Area 54 or some shit like that. It doesn't matter. But he was a weather balloon operator on this range, and that he started seeing them, and he had heard rumors like about this shack he worked at. Now this guy he comes off like kind of a farmery, like a real like hokey guy. So that's what's eerie about it, because he seems very trustworthy. He has a nuclear physics degree, and I can easily see a guy alone on a test range doing a weather balloon all day, making up all kinds of interesting stories. Okay, so he could be made up,
Right.
but it's still like what I like about it is the details in it are way more interesting than you would normally hear in UFO crap. Like way more interesting. So he said, here's a weird thing, like a weird thing he talked about when he started talking to these things at some point. He uh, he asked one like what they thought of Earth, and they said they considered Earth kind of a desolate wilderness. And
Wow.
what they thought was interesting about humans is the fact that we would like he grew up on a farm and would like milk cows and ride a horse, and they find those animals could kill you, so they find it crazy, not crazy, but very interesting that because on most planets, according to them, the dominant species just kills off all the other animals.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever heard anybody say aliens say something like that? Ever? I
No,
always
I
say like
actually don't
save the
even
fucking
know
whales.
what. Yeah, I haven't heard from aliens at all. Like, I don't know their opinions on anything.
I don't mean personally. I meant when you hear like Billy Meyer, the other guy, his thing is like some fucking hippie bull. They came and tell us hippie bullshit, and I mean, when you hear like people's stories and they're like, the aliens said we got to take care of our planet, and like you met Space Greta Thunberg, like
Is this a
every
spaceship?
time
This looks like something you put AirPods in.
he said GE and whatever, we're just like a stop that they had a section on, and in exchange for stuff, we would make them. So GE would make them like fix their ships and shit, and they would give
Wow.
us technology, but not they. First of all, they won't give you anything unless it benefits them. He said.
Wow.
He didn't say it like they're bad. He just said like that's how they are,
They're
and they
self-serving.
didn't. Yeah, they didn't want us having all this shit that they have, and so he didn't write anything down. But he said on his own, he kind of thinks he understands a little bit how their stuff worked because he has a nuclear physics degree. But he wasn't allowed to write anything down, or they would have killed him on site. He said if
If
he
he
started like
wrote anything down, like, about
about
their
them.
technology.
Yeah, and he explained how it's I'm telling you, watch his thing. I watched the all of it. I just happened to pop on my feed and I watched it. And it was very like eerie, and I haven't heard anybody else. I heard very few ones that sound as interesting. What I kind of think about him is maybe he saw something. It's not just a guy who's creative being bored all day in a weather shack. But there's no way. I don't think he saw as much as what he's saying. I think like what happens is a lot of these people have seen something, and then how much can you tell that story? And you're gonna have to start adding to it and speculating on it, you know, because you got to go to conferences. You're gonna do the same joke and then one time I saw this one creature for a second. Like you can't sustain that on a lecture circuit.
I think this is an interesting point. If an alien says we got to take care of our planet, that just means the
Not the
aliens are going to
Batman. That's exactly what I think.
exploit it for resources later. Right. If they seem pretty self-serving.
So like
Wow.
all the alien messages are basically the same as Power Rangers. Like an alien comes and starts polluting and they have to stop it. Like this, like, and also, why are you telling me? You're telling somebody who has no power over that. Why do you say definitely? I don't even think they have those classifications.
Right. Do you think they just have no
And gas.
genitals down there? It's all flat.
No, some of them do. According to, I really look into their phrenology, of their head size, and but supposedly some of them definitely do have a gland that retracts into their body.
Not a dick.
Anyway,
Okay.
got to get on Gaia, but don't pay for it. I recommend
Okay.
you don't pay for it.
Wow. That's very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I wonder if aliens would be like better in bed than humans, or like they have the capacity to be better, because I think of them, they're just all smarter and more involved than us. But I
I
bet
mean,
they
I
would
don't
also
even
be
think they need to
lazy
have
in
a
bed.
bed. They have a
What?
technology that they don't even need a bed. One
No,
guy,
I mean like sex. Like I mean like, are they good lovers?
they're after sperm. I'll tell you that. One thing in all the research is they really are. They want eggs for sure, but a lot of sperm harvested. This one guy who paints pictures of it said they used me as a sperm bank for 50 years.
Oh no! So the aliens were
Yeah.
jerking him off?
I don't even know. He didn't get into details, but the picture is like these little big-headed guys coming out of the woods, I guess, to jerk him off. Do they use it as a fuel source?
How
It powers the
confusing.
craft.
Wow, yeah, how are they doing it? Would they send out their hottest alien lady, or just
Yes, they
fucking
had
dry-handed?
an alien lady that looked kind of human but had bug eyes. Is one of the stories.
Like,
Yeah.
literally just grew tits in that moment for the purpose of, like, jerking this guy off.
Mars needs sperm is if I were to make the classic sci-fi of that situation.
So aliens, wow, like, yeah, I mean, aliens are not making their own sperm?
It's one of the many mysteries of.
Maybe they're just experimenting with it.
I mean, everyone has to decide that for themselves.
That's true.
It's not all like they make it like it's all anal stuff. It's really not. It's mostly sperm they're after. That's a big misconception. Is like, oh, they're gonna probe your ass.
They want your butthole. Yeah.
No, but I told you on Jimmy's show, penis is the new vagina. Vagina's been demoted to butthole. Sorry,
Vaginas
ladies.
are out, buttholes are in. Everyone's got to get a tuck bait.
Your vagina is a butthole, is a kind of butthole. So you understand. Let's be clear about that.
It's a front butthole.
Yeah, it's a front asshole. That's what I call it.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Love you, get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.